All right, we are here tonight at the IWAP Arena. I am Guy Whitey Corngood, and I am joined right beside me by the IWAP champion, Christian Rhodes, for this match. Christian.
Greetings all. Matt Cage making his way to the ring, hailing from Africa. Very intelligent competitor, very underrated. Actually has been trained by former WCW Cruiserweight champion Elix Skipper and Curtis Hughes down south.
I think it seems like he's got a chip on his shoulder. He really needs to cut it down a little bit. Tremendous
attitude, not the greatest athlete. Seems to be quite obsessed with the Twitter. Matt Cage didn't have that hair the last time I saw him, which was only a few days ago.
It must be using that Rogaine.
Must be.
It seems like the crowd, most of the crowd is against him. They do not like him. He rubs them the wrong way, I guess you could say.
Cage doesn't really like anybody. He's not that good of a guy, really. He's an alright wrestler.
Coming out next is our former IWAP champion.
Emphasis on the former.
Dynamite Danny Cannon, hailing from the land of the gun.
Never been there.
I heard it's north of Tigerland.
Quite possibly. We all know I'm very familiar with Danny Cannon. Had several matches against him.
You two had a great series of matches.
Yeah, as much as I'm not fond of giving credit to anybody, I can honestly say he is the best opponent I've ever had. You know, tremendous athlete, very explosive.
I would even call him a blue chipper.
Not even really sure what the phrase blue chipper means, even though I've heard it used a lot. I've actually heard that phrase used to describe a lot of wrestlers that I know Danny Cannon does not enjoy watching. So, yes, I will call him a blue chipper because I know it will rub him the wrong way.
Now, I know Danny Cannon. He has a very high-flying, hard-hitting style of wrestling.
Very hard.
What would you classify Matt Cage's style as?
Matt Cage is a thinking man's wrestler, actually. He's very smart in the ring. He's actually, I said earlier, he's not the greatest athlete. I should take that back. He's actually surprisingly athletic. But I would look for Cage. You know, Cage is much more experienced than Danny Cannon. He's much more well-traveled. You know, wrestles all over the Midwest, goes down to Alabama every so often. You know, Danny Cannon, he's a great athlete, but he's only been wrestling less than a year even at this point.
But think about that. In less than a year, he's already been champion.
True. Very true. I don't know. Sheer athleticism can make up for inexperience, I guess. But
all right.
To me, if I'm Matt Cage in this match, do the same thing that I tried to do with him before, even though it doesn't always work. Ground and pound. Don't let him move, because he's not going to be faster than Danny Cannon. To my knowledge, I've not seen anybody that could out-quick him. You know,
here's Matt Cage's chance in order to get in there and get a big upset win here in IWAP.
Oh, yeah. I mean, anytime you can beat a guy that's a former champ, you know, it's going to definitely skyrocket Matt Cage.
Rip Danny Cannon's wig off!
No, don't do that. Danny Cannon actually does do some MMA training throughout the week, along with hitting the gym quite regularly, as you can tell, and training for pro wrestling. So Matt Cage probably does not want to try. See, right there. Keep him on the mat, ground and pound. Take him down.
Nice belly-to-back suplex. And Danny Cannon turned it around into an armbar.
And he has it on tight, too, is the thing. But, see, there's the size. Danny Cannon will always have a size disadvantage. That's why he has to rely on the high flying and the hard hitting. I'd also like to state on a personal note that those Hayabusa kick pads that he wears feels like getting kicked by a man wearing a sack of golf balls on his leg. It's another thing about.
So what would you say Danny's biggest weakness is? His height? His height disadvantage?
You know, I mean, for his size, he's pound for pound probably the strongest guy in the company, but he doesn't have a lot of reach. You know, he's very short. That and, you know, takes a lot of risks, and if they don't, you know, pay off, then, you know, he's done.
So his main goal out of this match is going to be to keep moving, keep the pace as fast as possible, and Matt Cage is going to want to slow it down as much as possible. It looks like he's doing a good job, but he's not.
No.
See?
Big New Japan style springboard shotgun drop kick.
Turned his back on him. He needs to take advantage of those moments where he has him.
Yeah. Well, if you see there, Danny Cannon had him in that hammerlock, and Matt Cage used a veteran trick, running around to gain momentum and dump him out to the floor. But Danny landed on his feet and hit that big drop kick, you know. Experience versus athleticism. Harsh words he needs fans there from Matt Cage.
Matt Cage needs to stop focusing. Matt Cage needs to stop focusing on the fans and worry about the man in the ring.
Correct.
That's going to be his biggest hindrance is his ego and the fact that he's so easily distractible.
Yeah, he needs to focus on what he's got in the ring because it's not somebody you can just roll over. I tried many times and it just doesn't happen.
Could Matt Cage in the next year or so be, title contention?
Contention? Yes. Champion? Not while I have it. Oh, something horrific has happened. Matt Cage has been inadvertently scalped.
Is that legal in wrestling?
It might be in CZW.
See, my mom always told me hairy palms came from doing things. I guess Danny Cannon knows about it now.
A lot, even with the right hand. But Matt Cage taken completely out of his game. Referee Schweitzer.
Our referee is referee Schweitzer for this evening.
Very capable referee, very intelligent, knows the rules of the ring.
Has movie star looks, I would say.
You could say that. Referee Schweitzer actually has spent time in L.A. working for the film industry. Long argument right now as to whether or not this actually constitutes a pulling of the hair. I guess in the truest sense of the word, yes, but not a lot of damage done to Matt Cage, only his pride.
Believe me, I know. I'm going bald on top. It's painful. It's very, very degrading. Degrading.
Okay. Yeah. Waist lock now by Matt Cage into the ropes. Not a clean break. Not a clean break at all. Backflip into a head scissors. Oh, jeez.
To the outside. Most wrestlers would have a lot of time outside where they can relax and think about it. With Danny Cannon in the ring,
you're not safe on the floor, Matt Cage. There you go. There you go.
Yes. Oh, over the top into the actual
man,
fans.
that was awesome. And the thing is, Danny, normally he's very cat-like. He can land on his feet, but you run the risk of blowing out your ankles if you do that. Which is probably what happened there. He tried to land on his feet and just collapsed.
Matt Cage needs to get him back in the ring.
Geez.
Take him back into the ring. You can't pin a guy on the outside. You can't win on the outside.
That is very, very
European
much true.
style uppercut. Oh, chop to the chest.
Not as solid or stiff as my chops. However, that right hand that Matt Cage hit him with a minute ago that rocked him. I have actually. Believe me, that hurts tremendously. I have actually been in the ring with Matt Cage and
this is just poor form. He needs to focus on the match.
Does need to get him back in the ring. Either pin the guy or tap him out, but you got to do it in the canvas. Oh, suplex. Those pads that they see on the floor really,
do not offer that much, do they?
Not hardly at all. They're very old pads, in fact, and they've been very worn through, so it's not even a good idea to have them. I think it's just to kind of make people in the crowd a little more easy about, the danger of being thrown out of the ring or anything like that. Hot shot onto the ropes.
Drops him onto the ropes. Quick around. Kick to the stomach.
618.
That is the area code
of the double stomp.
Rolls through into a clothesline. Turns him inside out.
Danny Cannon studies a lot of tapes of smaller wrestlers in order to adapt to his style based on his body, and Low Key is one of those guys, so that's when he started employing all those double stomps, those vicious double stomps.
You've been hit with double stomps, haven't you?
Way too many of them, actually. He puts all of his weight behind those, and he's not a very heavy guy, but when it all comes down on such a small area of your body, plus the height of the springboard, hurts a lot.